through, not wash over. You know what I'm saying? Like he doesn't. It doesn't seem to me to. Well, I know that's an unfortunate turn of a phrase now that I'm hearing Kurt laugh from his home camp.
It's a Freudian slip.
No. But basically what I'm saying is he doesn't strike me as somebody who's going to just, grip up during this game because he hasn't won a playoff game yet. And you've spoken to him. Yeah. I'm wondering what you think.
Well, and he talks about that. And, he talks about that. He talks about, honestly, all the things that he had to deal with. And dealing with everything, even winning the MVP and all of that brings, he says, I won't say I was tired, but it was a lot. And even his time away in COVID helped him kind of refocus that, you know what I mean? Because we think about, there's so much that goes on, and especially for him. And I felt, even in talking to him, that he felt like he was trying to satisfy a lot of people. Sometimes I'm sitting in the pocket too long. My feet are telling me, let's go, but I'm waiting on things to develop. He says, I'm going to listen to my feet a little bit more now and take off. I was like, yeah, that's what you should be doing. That's what you should be doing, Don't listen to the people that tell you sit in the pocket because they wish they could run like you because they'd have ran out of that pocket too. I'm just telling you. But he seems like he's in a good place and getting ready for it now.
The one thing I will say, Irv, though, is that we know in this day and age, you can't get away from the narrative. And I even heard Lamar talk a little bit about that narrative, getting over this playoff hump and the issues that they've had and that he's had come playoff time. And so I know that it's in there. And I love what you were saying, Irv, because sometimes to me the way to get it out of there is not to do what everybody's telling you to do, but just to fall back on what you do well. Fall back on just reacting and playing football. That is when Lamar Jackson is at his best. So I hope they don't come out and panic and put the ball in his hands and want to prove anything to anybody in terms of throwing it. Put it in his hands for him to run, to be a playmaker, to play free, because when he plays free, now he can let all that other stuff go and just react in the passing game. But I'm going to ask you this, Coach. We all remember that when Steve Young won that Super Bowl, that, we remember seeing him on the sideline and somebody was coming over and pulling that monkey off his proverbial back, that he heard it, that he understands that it was there and it was something that weighed him down. Did you ever see that when you were around him?
Well, I saw that too, and I got a new quote from Irv though, Kurt. We got listen to my feet. I've never heard that one before. That's a good coaching point. You know what? Well, and Steve Young got the monkey off his back, right? But this is not quite to that degree because Lamar lost 2 games. You know what? Sure. So what? Peyton Manning lost his first 3 games in the playoffs. You don't blink. You just play. I think that's going to serve as motivation for this guy. He's going to say, I'll show you that I can not only win a playoff game, I can go deeper than that. He's playing like he did as an MVP. These last 5 games, he's been spectacular. So I think he's determined to show that he's been the MVP and that he's playing this year as the MVP.
Yeah, and I think part of that monkey on his back was named Montana.
Oh yeah, when they got rid of Joe, and all of a sudden Steve had to win Super Bowls or else.
And then Michael Irvin.
I don't think he's listening. He's not listening to Flacco feet.
And then Michael Irvin in the triplets. That was the monkey on his back too. He had to get past that.
Oh
now.
yeah.
And he had to get past us.
I forgot to mention about you. I'm sorry.
That monkey was on his back. That's what was on his back, and I was up there tight.
AWS. Cynthia?
Well, I can't imagine following that because it's so amazing. But one of the other ways that Derrick Henry is amazing, well, pretty much anywhere that he's rushing. Usually the next gen stats give us clues as to how to kind of stop him, but he's great outside the tackles, inside the tackles. I want to point out this 1,230 yards. Only Dalvin Cook has more total rushing yards. So, Coach, how would you plan on stopping if you were the Ravens?
You know, this is ridiculous because outside the tackles, usually that's reserved for the fast guys, right? Speed guys. And he's a downhill runner? No. This big dude at 250 is also fast. But you remember he had 195 yards against the Ravens and knocked them out of the playoffs last year. So what did they do? They went out and got a couple more players, right? Calais Campbell, Pro Bowler, and Yannick Ngakoue, a couple of stout guys in there, so they're much better on defense. And they did that so they can stop that guy, and we'll see if that works today.
All right, great. Rich?
Thanks very much. You two guys.
Ian?
Well, Stacey, it's amazing to think the Saints have achieved a 2 seed and done everything they've done this season while barely being full strength basically the entire year. They are at full strength right now. You mentioned Alvin Kamara, who went on the COVID-19 reserve list on January 1st, is officially going to be cleared this morning. Now, he has been working out on his own, getting ready, make sure he is up to speed. He has been streaming practice, trying to participate virtually as much as he possibly could. He kind of told us early in the week that this would happen, that he'd play, saying, see y'all Sunday. I'm told today is Sunday, so we will see him. Meanwhile, Michael Thomas, the star receiver, Rich, for the Saints, has barely been healthy all year. A hamstring injury, 2 ankle injuries, officially off injury reserve. He is going to play today, and I'm told look good this week.
Okay, so looks like the Saints are going to be full strength right there. And as always, we ask you to post you getting ready for your game day using the hashtag of Lowe's Home Cam. And Bills Mafia in this particular photograph still celebrating yesterday's big playoff wild card weekend opening victory for the Buffalo Bills. This season, the Lowe's home team has been bringing 32 players from every team across the league together to support community building projects that highlight the cultural fabric of their respective communities. The Ravens' Lamar Jackson is partnering with Lowe's and the United Way of Central Maryland, for instance, to create a playground and indoor mural for a local family center. Lamar is personally participating in the mural design for the center by contributing his own original artwork that you saw there. And that's going to be incorporated in the final mural. The Family Center has received several additional updates and plans to open this coming spring. Lamar's home team project, part of a larger $2 million commitment from Lowe's to revitalize neighborhoods in southwest Baltimore. Good on all of those great folks there in Baltimore. And, of course, with Lowe's. So, how's Baker going to fare without Kevin Stefanski in his ear dialing it up? That's how we kick off our second segment of our second day of Wild Card Weekend on NFL Game Day morning. There, right.
NFL Game.
Kurt, this is the topic that's been dominating the game from the Browns' perspective all week long. The fact that Kevin Stefanski, who's COVID positive, and we hope is convalescing well, will not be there tonight, and it's going to be Alex Van Pelt calling the plays and in Baker Mayfield's ear. What do you think the significance of this is?
Rich, the significance is huge because so much a part of play caller quarterback is being able to see the game the same way, developing some type of rapport where you understand when a play caller calls a particular play, what they're thinking on that play, designing plays that are designed the way we both see the game. And that doesn't mean Alex Van Pelt cannot do that for Baker Mayfield, but you build up that rapport, and Baker, down the stretch was playing some of his best football of his entire career.